guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So today I think I want to play with my die cuts and my Gemini Mini. I brought it along with me. I figured I can cut out some dies and use them in my junk journal. So I think that if you guys went and grabbed your dies, we can definitely do something today. This little 3-inch opening has so much potential. You just crank the die cut through the Gemini Mini and you have something that you can use in your junk journal. So I even brought the little sandwich thing that slides directly through the Gemini Mini, and I think that yeah, we can play with it today and have some fun, do something a little different. So go grab your dies and meet me back here. I'll be right back. So I found these little die cuts that comes with a stamp, a little silicone polymer stamp, and they look like this. They're little women, not little women, but you know, they're women that are doing various things. Some are reading a book, or one is sipping a glass of wine, the other one's drinking coffee. So I thought that they would look really cute in a junk journal or a journaling card. And I'm just inking this up with VersaFine ink in black onyx, one of my favorite inks. And I'm going to just stamp this on some standard cardstock weight 160 GSM paper, and then I will probably run this through the die cutting machine with the die with the matching image. So this die set had a die cut and a stamp, so you just have to line up the die cut with the stamp and then, you know, decorate it however you like. So I'm going to stamp this one particular stamp multiple times, and then I'll have, you know, various ones to play with in my junk journal. So that's that image. I'm going to pull another image out and do the same thing, just line it up on my stamping block and then dip it in the VersaFine ink in onyx black. So let's just see what this one looks like when we stamp it. I think she's going to look pretty good. So I'm just stamping this right next to the previous one and making sure I get lots of good coverage on there. Oh, that looks really good. That came out pretty nice. I'll do it again. So yeah, I just hope you guys are having a crafty day and are doing crafty things. It's a What's Up Wednesday. I think today's Wednesday. I don't know, guys. I've lost track of the days of the week. But anyway, do something crafty, just like this. So once I've done cutting these out, I will then color them with my Opix coloring markers, or you know, my watercolor pens. So those are the dies that came with the package. I just have to break them apart and find the right image to go with the stamp and then run it through the mini. So I'm just going to stamp maybe one or two more. Maybe I'll fill up this page. I'll just continue stamping these images of these women doing different things. I know it sounds weird, right? But they're women doing different things. And this one I think is reading a book with her dog. So I'm just going to get some ink all over this stamp and stamp it on that paper as well. And making sure that I get lots of full coverage. I don't want any spaces missed like I just did that, but it's okay. I'll just keep stamping along on this page there. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'll go with that. So let me grab my Gemini. And I'm just placing a little bit of washi on each one of the dies so that the die cut stays in place while I run it through the mini. And yeah, that's another good use of washi tape if you're, to keep your dies from shifting while you're cutting it out. And you don't have to go in any particular order. As long as your image fits into that little sandwich thing, you can cut out whichever one you want first. And I'm just going to run this through the die cutting machine and we'll see what we get on the other side. My die cutting machine has suction cups on the bottom, so very little pressure is needed. You don't really need to hold it to get it started. And I like the little flap on the sandwich thing that holds the die cuts in place. This way you don't even have to hold it at all. It just, it has like a little sandwich and it just flips over and it fits perfectly in your die cutting machine. So this one cut through really, really well. I literally have to peel it apart. But look at the image. That's just so cute. So amazing that you stamp something and you cut it out and look at what you got. And she's reading a book with her little dog. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to cut out the very first one that I stamped, even though I wasn't totally happy with the way that the ink transferred. I think it smeared a little bit, or it didn't fully transfer in the lower left corner, but it's all good. I'm just going to put a little bit more washi on here to hold this die in place, and we'll run it through the Gemini Mini. Now, Gemini Mini is made by Crafter's Companion, or at least it's sold by Crafter's Companion. I am not sponsored one bit at all by this company. I just like the device. I wish I had one that was electric so that one, it stayed in place, and two, I don't have to run it through so many times, but it is what it is. But I know that this die cuts really well. So it's not so much the machine, it's how well your die cuts cut. And again, I'm just going to remove that die cut from the page. And yeah, now I have another little cute thing to play with. All right, so I'm going to cut out one more, the same image, seeing that I have this die here and ready to go. But if you notice, my little sandwich thing is not long enough to reach to this third image. So I'm going to have to cut my page down first. So I'm just going to break apart the rest of the dies and try to get 2 images cut at the same time by cutting away the excess paper from the front part of that page. So again, with some washi on this little die cut, and yeah, and then we'll run it through again. So here I am just flipping the page over instead of cutting off the excess, because now we have 2 images on the bottom half of the page, and that just saves some time right there. Don't have to worry about cutting it away. You just flip your page around and keep cutting. So I'm not going to have you watch me like really fully cut through a bunch of die cuts. I think you get the picture. You understand how a die cutting machine works. But afterwards, I will go over some of these with my Opix pens. I think it's called Opix or Copics, or anyway, I'm going to find my alcohol ink pens or my watercolor pens, and just color in some of these and then make some journaling cards out of them, because why not, right? So let me go grab some more of those and I'll be right back. All right, guys, well, these are my Copics pen set. I think it's called Copics. Anyway, these are my alcohol inks. I brought these along with me. Obviously, these are just some of the ink sets that I have, or pen inks that I have from my collection. They come in this cute little box that houses all the different colors. The colors are in sets, and this one was a mixture. I just pulled some from various packs and put them all into one box. It was a mixture of skin tones and some of my favorite colors from a different set. And I tend to just just mix and blend, and like even if I wanted some lighter skin tones, I would blend it with some darker skin tones, and you'll see me do that a lot with especially with these images, because not everyone is the same complexion, not everyone is the same skin tone. So yeah, I tend to blend them a lot, and these blend so well. There's even a blending pen that's just like it's a clear gel that just helps the colors blend nicely. So yeah, I'm just coloring this with whatever I feel is the color of choice, and this will be my little brown skin girl that I'm going to probably put her in a yellow top, and she's sipping a glass of wine, looking off into the distance with a few birds flying back there. So yeah, I'm just coloring her in with the yellow shirt and a blue hat. And then we will I'll probably do like, I don't know what color skirt, but none of it really matters. It's just really how you feel, right? So just color with whatever you have. If you have watercolors, you can do that. If you have just plain markers, go ahead, do that. But I've never really done images on, like, people images on my channel before. I've always just mostly done like, junk journal stuff that's like strictly a butterfly, or strictly, something specific to the scenery. But this time I thought I would do something completely off the wall, right? And yeah, so she has like a little blue skirt. I'm just coloring whatever. Her little table will be probably orange or terracotta, just for the sake of keeping it neutral. This can still go into like a fall junk journal just based on these colors alone. So yeah, I'm just going to find some muted pinkish terracotta color to color her table. It's sort of an orange, but I'm going to go with terracotta. I think I did bring terracotta along with me, so I think that's the color that I'm using. And yeah, I'm just doing this really quickly. This is just a little filler for our What's Up Wednesday. Yeah, I think that this would look really sweet in a junk journal. I'm sorry she's out of frame so much, but I think I zoomed in on this one for you guys. And yeah, I just didn't slide her back up into frame. But anyway, this is what she looks like. Isn't that sweet? And I will color her glass of wine because I realized that I skipped that part. Again, here's another one. This one is sitting at a window, drinking a cup of coffee on like a window seat or whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna fill her in and with various colors, and yeah, and then we'll use these in our junk journal as journaling cards. I'm going to fast forward the rest of this so that you don't have to sit here and watch me color, which, I mean, I guess it can be fun. It can be relaxing. But if you notice, I started off with a much lighter shade for her, and I will highlight her skin tone afterwards with some a little bit darker browns, not very dark, just browns to like tone her skin a little bit, because that's pretty much what this kit does. It allows you to mix and match and blend skin tones so that you get realistic colors, because no one is actually pink. When we were in elementary school, you had 4 colors, right? And pink was one of them. So anybody who's lighter skin was getting pink, but no one's actually pink. So this ink set allows you to blend skin tones so that it looks a little bit more realistic. And that's what I like about these pens. So I will fast forward the rest of this so you don't have to watch me struggle through the blending process. But just note that these are going to come out super cute and can be used in any junk journal. I'll be right back, okay guys? Alright guys, so I'm about to attempt to ink these pieces of paper to assemble the projects onto. So those are the die cuts that I cut out and colored in. So now I'm just going to attempt to do my own blending on these little um, journaling cards and then adhere the die cuts to those journaling cards. So I started off with some yellow, and I'm trying out these brand new rubber neck um, inks that I've never used before other than at the Stamp and Scrapbooking Expo. So this color is autumn, and the previous color I believe was lemon. So I'm just using some yellows in order to like really learn how to blend, because that's something that I attempted and learned how to do at the Stamp and Scrapbooking Expo. So yeah, I'm just using these inks that I've never used before, and bear with me, it's a learning process. I'm so used to Tim Holtz distress inks and distress oxides that seeing such vibrant colors on the page, it's a little bit, it's a lot to take in. So yeah, I'm gonna use some water. I'm just spritzing it onto my finger, and I'm gonna try to blend that out because I did go in pretty heavy with the blending brush. And again, I'm so accustomed to Tim Holtz distress inks. He's got a great product. When I see other products on the market, and looking at my options out there, I really can tell that he's got it down pat. So yeah, I'm just blending in some of this autumn color, which is like a mustardy yellow, but you really can't tell based on, my blending. So yeah, I'm just going to keep blending it in, and hopefully it smooths itself out. And then I'm going to try a different color, within the same yellow family. This is all from Rubbernecker. And I believe this is Amaretto. So yeah, this is just all in the same yellow family. This Amaretto color should be a little bit deeper and richer, and hopefully, now I know, okay, yeah, I know I should have started off the mat and then worked my way in, but again, I did not know how well these inks are taking to the brush that I'm using, as well as how well it's going to take to the paper. So these are just some card fronts. They're 4x6, card fronts, and I'm just dipping it in a little bit of water that I spritz to the side or on my wet wipe, and yeah, there we go. So I'm just trying to blend this all in with water and this color of amaretto from Rubbernecker. Now, I had a blast when I was at the Stampin' Scrapbooking Expo, and thank you, Lorraine, but I've never used their inks before, so it's all a learning process, right? It's a curve that we all have to go through when we're learning new techniques and new products. So hopefully this will dry and it'll blend itself in. It'll lend itself to the previous colors that I've applied. So yeah, I'm just going back in with a little bit of water on my brush, dipped into my wet wipes, and I'm going to try to blend it all in and see what happens. After that, I'm going to take one of the die cuts and adhere it directly to this 4x6 card. I believe it's 4x6. Like, I could check and see what size it is, but I'm almost positive that it's 4x6. So I'm just looking for placement for where this little lady should go that I've colored in, and I'm going to use my Fabrifix glue to adhere her to this page. I'm also going to stamp on here just a little sentiment that kind of like gives me inspiration for the image. So there's my adventure stamp. Now my adventure stamp, I've discovered, leans to the right a little bit. So it leans down on the right hand side. So I am going to remedy that by putting a little arrow on the stamp itself, on the wood block, showing me that I need to point it up on the end of the word adventure. So that's going to be, my little notification to let me know that I need to tilt my stamp up a little bit when I'm stamping it, because it currently dips down on the end. No fault of my own. It's just the way the manufacturer made it. I probably should check these things. Like, do I go into Hobby Lobby with the level to see, to see if those stamps are all, perfectly made? No, I don't. But I'm just using some Fabrifix glue, and I will try to figure it out as I go and cover up any mistakes that I've made along the way with that stamp. And I will handwrite in the remainder of that sentiment. I'm probably going to, let's see, what am I going to put here? Adventure awaits, perhaps. Sure, why not? It seems appropriate. Yeah, with a little exclamation mark. Because adventure always awaits. Like, whether you want it to or not, it's always out there waiting for you to decide that's what you want to do. So yeah, adventure awaits. And I will make sure she's stuck to the page really well. And she will make a great addition to my junk journal eventually. At some point, I will probably do a travel journal. But at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and round these corners with my medium corner rounder. So that's about 7 millimeters around all the 4 corners. And I think it came out pretty good. Perhaps I'll ink around the edges just to give some contrast to the card itself. I'll probably ink it in brown espresso. So, or ground espresso. I don't know why I say brown espresso. Brown, it's a brown, I get it, but it should be ground espresso is the official color. I'm just going to ink around the edges just to give it some contrast and let that yellow really pop, because once you tone it down with some brown on the edges, you realize that your yellows and your reds and your oranges really pop against that brown. So I'm just inking around the edges and hopefully get some really good contrast here. Yep, I think that's going to look really cute in a junk journal with plenty of journaling space on the back side of this card. But yeah, I'm just like procrastinating my glue to dry. So yeah, making sure that my card does flex really well, and yeah, plenty of journaling space on the back. And she came out really cute. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. I'm going to try to move a little quicker through this process. I don't think you really want to watch me ink paper and glue paper. I mean, of course you do, because you're here, right? And I'm here, so where else are we going to be? I'm just going to continue that same process. I will try to choose a different color, try to blend some different colors, and go from there. So let's see. The next one that I'm going to use will be the green family, again from Rubbernecker, and I'm going to ink another 4x6 card in the green family. So the greens consist of like mint and basil. Those are the colors that are in that family. So I'm just cleaning up my my glue mat, and I'll ink another card to adhere another little girlfriend to. So I'm calling these girlfriends. Like, I've considered it. I thought about it. Like, I think I have 3 girlfriends, like, at least. And this is what they would be doing. One would be reading a book. One would be looking for coffee. The other one would be sipping wine. Eva. Hey, Eva. And yeah, I think, like, this is us. Like, I'm definitely looking for coffee on a regular basis. So yeah. And Anna would probably be reading a book. So yeah, these are my girlfriends, and this is what we do. And I will find a space in my junk journal to put them in, somewhere in either my fall junk journal or my future junk journal. But yeah, these are the girlfriends. So in this one, I'm gonna stamp the word explore. It's another one of my wood block stamps. I'm just testing to make sure that the Explorer is not as wonky as the Adventure. So Adventure does dip down to the right a little bit. Explorer seems to be a little bit more straight, a little bit more even. So yeah, I will just ink the backing of this paper, and then adhere her to the page just like I did the previous one. So yeah, I'm going in with some greens, and yeah, this whole thing will be more or less the green family. So I'm using that brush that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Now I understand completely that there are inking brushes that are way more expensive, way more user-friendly. These are just some cheapo $1.25 brushes that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. The ones that I saw at the show at the expo are super expensive. Like, they had 6 brushes for like $12. I'm like, 6 for 12? That's $2 a piece. I could have gotten $1.25 a piece, maybe for the quality that you're getting at the show. It's probably worth it, right? Because I showed you guys in a previous video that the brushes are like just shredding on me. It's just pulling apart. Even my mom told me, like, her brush just completely fell apart. Like, the handle snapped and the bristles are falling apart. And I'm like, yeah, I think for $1.25 I could probably swing the other 75 cents and get some quality brushes, because this is the most popular size brush. And if I'm going to be doing inking like this, I might as well spend the money to get some better quality brushes in this technique. So yeah, it's just something to consider. It's, you got to figure out where your value lies, and if your time is worth more than your money, then you go for what's timely and convenient. But if your money is worth more than your time, then you spend the money and get some really quality items, and go from there. So I'm just going to adhere her to the center of the page and go from there. So I'm thinking just some Fabrifix glue again. I like the dispersed inking that I did around her. It just looks a little faded and muted. Also in the four corners, and it's very like dull in the center. So I'm just going to use some Fabrifix glue to adhere her to the center of the page. And then I'll write a little sentiment. So I'm looking for her placement first, and then I'll write a little sentiment in the two corners. So here I'm writing just a little something that, you know, it's a little inspiration. It says, I don't know. Oh, who knows what that says? I think I should have zoomed you guys in a little bit, but I think it says explore love in a good book. And then I will finish that sentiment over on the right hand side of the girl. And yeah, let me just scoot her over, and I will put, it says explore love in a good book and with a good friend. So her image is of her with a little doggy. So it just reminds me of Dolce just a little bit. And yeah, so let's see. All right, guys, so I'm not going to let you watch me go through this process all the way through. I will fast forward some of this, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll see you at the end of this video. Guys, that's it for me. I think I've really enjoyed this process. I think it should look really great in one of my junk journals. If you do enjoy this video, please give this video a big fat thumbs up, and look for my links down in the description box below. So I want to thank you guys for watching this process, and you know, like and subscribe, guys. Check out my links, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. Stay naturally curious, guys. Bye.